This episode is brought to you by San Pellegrino Ciao. A gift from Italy to your home. San Pellegrino Ciao is a flavored sparkling water made with real fruit juice, finished with a pinch of Sicilian salt for a perfectly balanced taste. So which flavor will you choose? Peach, lime, blood orange, cherry, or maybe the all-new limoncello? Crafted in Italy with 0 grams of added sugar. San Pellegrino Ciao. Buy it now.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
John Solomon is
Great.
on.
I'm glad he's here.
Let's bring him in. Me and John Solomon worked together about 100 years ago. Jerry Finkelstein started the Hill newspaper, and John Solomon was there with him, and I owned a little piece of the action. And, well, it was a long time ago. What do you say?
A lot has happened since that time. I mean, some things are all the same. I think we've been waiting for some of the Russia collusion documents all that time, so some things have stayed the same.
Well, the president trusts you, and he just gave you a phenomenal promotion that he wants you to check out all those documents. Tell all our listeners. We may have 1 million people listening. Tell us what you're going to be doing, John Solomon.
Yeah, I'm going to be an unpaid special government employee overseeing a task force designed to get out a lot of these documents on weaponization, on prior intelligence and law enforcement failures and abuses, things that have stayed in the recesses of the bureaucracy for 10 years despite multiple efforts by Congress, by lawsuits, by FOIA. There are still enormous secrets that sit unreleased by the government despite the president's orders for transparency. So our task force is to dig them out, to extract them. We're going to do it quickly. I think we'll be done by the end of summer, but we're getting a lot of great cooperation from all the agencies, and I think everything from COVID cover-ups and FBI crossfire hurricane origin stories that we haven't heard to more recent stuff involving Jack Smith. We'll be able to get all of that out in the next 60 to 90 days.
How can this happen in our country, John Solomon?
It's a great question, and I think when we get the documents, we'll begin to understand it, because I think these are the ones the bureaucracy most did not want out. And so as a result, these are the ones that give us the darkest, deepest secrets into just exactly what was being covered up. Did we keep things from did the CIA try to keep things from an active president on China meddling in the 2020 election? The stuff I've seen already that's public certainly leans in that direction. Is that possible that it continued all the way on and we kept the president and Congress in the dark? Did we use foreign powers to spy on the Trump campaign? There's certainly some indications of that. We're going to find these things out. I think it's a mindset. I think at the end of the day, somewhere in the last decade or 2 decades, bureaucrats decided that their political interests were more important than the American people's
When do you
interests.
think this started? I mean, was it 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago? When do you think this started?
I think it starts midway through the Obama administration. That's where you start to see the early weaponization, the IRS, targeting of the IRS, or the IRS targeting of conservatives, Fast and Furious. Today we got a new Fast and Furious-like scandal out there where the Biden administration...
So if I asked you as one of the most educated guys I know in the reporting business, is you think it was the Obama administration that what happened in our country and going the wrong direction?
Well, certainly the weaponization. There certainly was an idea under Barack Obama and the people that worked for him, Jack Smith, who, by the way, was involved in the IRS targeting scandal. He kind of invents some of the ideas that Lois Lerner would use. I think at some point the notion in that administration...
And nothing ever happened to Lois Lerner?
Nothing?
How can this happen?
Today.
How can this happen in the United States of America?
Yeah, no consequence, no accountability, and you keep the system. You allow the system to keep going forward, and that's why we saw so much weaponization under Biden. It got worse. Now,
the one more thing I want to bring to everybody's attention.
Sure.
Trump, 45.
Yep.
I don't think he realized, and I just want your opinion. I don't think he realized what Obama had done, putting 2,000 people in specific positions in Washington in the White House to make sure that Trump 45 does not succeed.
Yeah, he did embed a large number of career people into positions that would allow them to sustain the attacks on the Trump first presidency, to weaponize the government, and to throw the government off keel. And there's no greater example of that, John, than a January 5th, 2017 meeting. We know in the final 2 months of the Obama presidency, Barack Obama personally presided over two issues. One, he wanted to reverse the intelligence community's honest assessment, the career assessment, that Vladimir Putin didn't try to help President Trump win the election. So he ordered it rewritten and redone quickly, hastily, to leave an injury to President Trump's beginning of his presidency, and that is create a false intelligence assessment suggesting that Russia tried to help Donald Trump win the presidency. The facts didn't support that. He ordered it rewritten anyways. And then, while that was going on January 5th, 2017, Barack Obama presided over a meeting at the White House. I can't say this thing enough. It's such an extraordinary moment, such a Watergate moment. The FBI had just decided that Mike Flynn, the incoming National Security Advisor for Trump 45, was an innocent man. That they looked at him for Russia collusion. There was none. He was in the clear. And then the FBI was told to stand down on clearing him. And then there's a meeting that the President of the United States presides over to try to figure out how they can find something to hang on Mike Flynn, how they could get him arrested. And one of the FBI agents comes out of that meeting and writes a set of handwritten notes that are some of the most extraordinary documents I've ever seen. The notes say, what was our goal today? To get to the truth, or to try to find a way to get an innocent man to lie so we can prosecute him. And they concocted a way that they were going to lure Mike Flynn into an interview, trip him up, and then charge him with lying, which, by the way, is exactly what they did. A president of the United States presided over both of those. He is up to his neck in the weaponization, and I think it's his administration that hit the go button on a systemic weaponization of government against it.
And it took. I just want to get all this in so all our million listeners know what the heck is going on. And it took President Trump 4 years on the beach to analyze and to realize what had happened, which ended up making him the best president the United States ever had as President 47.
There's no doubt that 4-year diaspora, when he's actually being pursued the whole time, one of the things he gets to see is the full brunt of the weaponization. 4 prosecutions while he's on the beach. But he gets him. There are two things he does. One, he understands that every aspect of government is weaponized, and he learns how to fight it in the trenches every day with lawyers and with legal motions and court efforts, the immunity ruling. The second thing is he learned that his first administration was embedded with enemies, and he would not enter a second administration with such enemies embedded in position.
But if we don't clear this up, somebody has to go to jail, John Solomon. I'm telling you right now, and me and you go back a long ways. Me and the president go back a long ways. Somebody has to go to jail for the United States to clean up what the heck is going on.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be many people, and what I'm beginning to see suggests that there was a criminal conspiracy, and everything will rest on the hands of a guy named Joe DeGenova down in Florida, Fort Pierce, Florida, where the grand jury is now meeting. But the big thing for Joe DeGenova is you can only bring good prosecutions if you get the good evidence out of the Justice Department, out of the FBI, out of the CIA. And I think that is the most important thing in the next 90 days. Let's get all the evidence out so that there's a clear pattern of who did what, who should be punished for what, and then you get the thing. Right now, Joe DeGenova is still waiting for John Brennan's interview transcripts from the Senate. John Thune and the Senate are keeping the prosecutors from doing their job. So even at this moment, there's evidence that is being withheld that could potentially lead to that sort of accountability, John, that you've been calling for a decade.
Yes.
We're still getting obstruction.
John,
by the way, we got Jake and the judge are yelling at me. They want to go on.
Well, John Solomon, this is Jake Novak. You just described all these horrible things, the lack of acceptance of a peaceful transfer of power. So I got to get your response, John Solomon. This is Barack Obama on Thursday saying just the opposite at his speech dedicating his library. This is nauseating. Listen to this.
A belief in the peaceful transfer of power after the people have spoken in fair and free elections, recognizing that in a large, complicated society like ours, no group or faction gets its way 100% of the time.
I mean, that's hypocrisy on steroids.
Joke. What a joke. John, this is Fernando Mateo. I must tell you this. I just finished reading Pardon of Innocence, an inspiring story of faith and freedom by General Michael Flynn. General Flynn is a personal friend of mine. And when I ran for mayor, he came to New York and he endorsed me. And everything you've said basically verifies in the book that he wrote. So I recommend anyone that wants to find the truth in what happened and how Obama is responsible for everything that went on with President Trump, they should read this book.
Yeah, it's so important. The Mike Flynn journey is the perfect example.
Yes.
Because even the FBI agents pursuing him knew that what they were doing was unrighteous. Now, sadly, they didn't stop. They continued to do it. And I think that is...
Well, everybody likes their pension, you know?
Yeah. Well, today, listen, you've got a story breaking today that shows that some patriots still exist. There are DEA agents who came out of the woodwork today to acknowledge that for between 2023 and 2025, the Biden administration instructed them to let fentanyl flow onto the streets of New Mexico, killing young adults on a daily basis so they could maybe make a better case against the drug cartels. They were willing to sacrifice American lives.
Oh, my God.
It is fast and furious. If you remember, under Barack Obama, they did this.
That was the guns.
Right? They let the guns go to the cartels. Now they let fentanyl go on the street just so that some prosecutor could score a bigger case. That is a mindset of extraordinary danger, and it is great to see some whistleblowers coming out of the work and blowing the whistle.
We got 1 minute left before we got to go break.
Whistleblowers turned the case on Hunter Biden.